What's going on, everybody? Gator coming back at you with a quick little tips and tricks video. Today we're going to be learning how to tie a hair rig. If you don't know what a hair rig is or what it would be used for, this isn't really the video for that. I'll be making one probably coming out Monday that's discussing why I use a hair rig, what its benefits are, all that good stuff. But today we're just focusing on the nitty-gritty how to get it done. So without further ado, let's jump right into this. So some of the basic materials you're going to need to tie a hair rig are some braided line and a hook. That's it. Now I personally prefer to use braided line, but I know some of the Euro guys that really generally fish these hair rigs like to use mono, but me personally, I've had the best luck fishing it with braid. I typically use 20-pound braid just because I don't want the chance of it breaking off somehow, because it does function as both a rig and the tippet of the hook, so keep that in mind. And for a hook, I like to use either a size 1 or a 1/0 circle hook. I only fish circle hooks for carp. I used to fish trebles many years ago when I first got into carp fishing, and I would never go back to doing it. It ruins the fish with the amount of gut hooked fish, and it's just no good. I would only ever recommend using circle hooks. I've had nothing but lip hooks with them, nothing but absolute perfect hook sets right there in the corner of the mouth. So keep that in mind, and let's jump into how you tie it. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be tying this fly using this white tip-up line. I think this is 20 or 30-pound tip-up line, so obviously don't use this. This is just for demonstration, so hopefully you can see it easier. I got a little schmutz on my hook here. So the first step is going to be to tie a loop in one end of your line. Now you can use either a perfection loop or you can use just a overhand knot. I like to use the overhand knot just because it's easier to tie when making a loop this small. Okay, so now I have a knot tied in my line here, as you can clearly see. Now I like to have the loop in the line be roughly the same size as the hook. This gives me about enough loop distance to add 4 or 5 kernels of corn. I personally fish nothing but corn for carp, so about the same size as the hook. I overshot it a little bit here, but hey, this is not an exact science by any means. So the first step in tying this is going to be to pass our line through the eye of the hook. And I'm already seeing that I may have bitten off more than I can chew with this line here. Pass it through the eye of our hook until we have something resembling that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our loop back to where it's hanging off. Let me adjust the camera here a little bit. Hanging back off of the bend of the hook, like so. Next step is we're going to take our line, we're going to wrap it back down our hook like we were tying a snell, or even if we were tying a fly, until we get about in line with the hook point here. Now this is going to be the tricky part because this line is so large, but I need to feed this back through the eye of the hook, same direction that you came in before. So I came in with the loop, went through the top of the hook out the front, so I'm going to go wrap back, top of the hook, out the front like that. That's the key to make this knot hold, otherwise it won't hold. Alright, I'm going to fiddle with this and see if I can get this through. I may have gone with a little bit too large of a line for this demonstration, but I'll get back to you. Alright, so after fiddling around with that for a lot longer than I would care to admit, I finally got it through. Now, this isn't typically a problem with tying these. The only reason that happened is because I went with such a truly ridiculously large line just for instructional purposes. Now, as you can see, I've got my tag end coming off of my hook here. Don't know why I went towards the camera. It's going to be nice and out of focus for you. Now that acts as a tippet, so you would normally either tie a swivel onto the end of that or a loop, anywhere where you can tie that to your main line and attach your weight and all your other stuff. All that's beyond the scope of this simple how-to. And as you can see, we have a free hanging loop back behind the bend of the hook. We have tied on there. Really strong. That's cutting my finger. I'm pulling on it so tight. That's not coming loose. I've been fishing the hair rigs tied like this with the braid for probably 3 or 4 years now, and I've fished a lot of carp. I've probably got 300 or 400 carp on a rig tied exactly like this, but of course with the proper line, and I've never ever had one pull off. These are incredibly strong, because even if they do slide, and if your knot's a little off and it slides, you still have this big knot here that pulls down and acts as a stopper and prevents it from pulling through. So no matter what you can do, it's almost impossible to screw these up. So drop me a comment down below if you thought this was interesting, if this helped you out. That was the goal of the video. This is aimed mostly towards beginners, but a lot of guys fishing for carp in America don't know this exists. They're still considered a trash fish, so most guys just go out and either wang them with the bow or throw trebles out there with corn and gut hook them. So give this a shot. Let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for videos, drop me a comment down below and I'll be sure to check it out. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop me a comment telling me you liked it, ask me a question, whatever. I read all the comments. If you really like the video, you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. That would be insane if we could make that goal. So at any rate, my name's Gator, and I'll see you later. Goodbye and God bless.